Yesterday I played Marathon for about an hour and a half and came away with my impressions. They seem to be impressions that most people who have played the game are like, yeah, that's a valid take on it. Some people, of course, got upset that you can't have impressions unless you play the game and finish it and platinum it and make a baby with it. But I disagree, both as a gamer who plays lots of stuff and as a one-time video game designer. If you can't engage people in the first hour, let alone, honestly, the first 5 minutes these days, but certainly the first hour, hour and a half, then there is a problem with the game. It doesn't mean that the game won't eventually become a Game of the Year candidate. It means simply that you've done a poor job onboarding and you've done a poor job exciting the player. And in a world where games lose their market value very quickly in terms of what they cost to buy, or where you can get them on subscription services, or where there's free-to-play games, or there's so many other options that are cheaper, if you don't engage somebody quickly, and it doesn't mean action, it just has to be interesting to your brain, then you fail, in my opinion. And so this is me playing Resident Evil. I'm about to start Resident Evil Requiem. I am excited for this game. I've finished every Resident Evil game since RE2 came out, the remake. Love the series, one of my favorite franchises. So I'm kind of preloaded to like this, but I'll give you my honest impressions, review, take, whatever you want to call it. 90 minutes from now, I'll let you know what I think. Okay, I just played 90 minutes of Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I really like it, is my initial impression. The first thing that struck me were the graphics, at least at the beginning of the game. I always assumed this was going to be a cutscene. This is real time. Now, I'm playing this streaming from GeForce now, so I have all the bells and whistles turned on as high as it can be. I have never seen a video game look this realistic. I understand that the NPCs look a little stiff. Okay, we're not we're not in a place yet where we're advanced enough in that version of production. But in terms of just rendering real-time spaces and interacting with them and being in them, this is incredible. I mean, you have to understand. I mean, it's incredible on its own, and I get it. It's linear. You don't have a lot of places to move in this space, and when you get to the actual game, it doesn't look as good as this. At least not an hour and a half in. But just the fact, I just want to point this out. Like, I've seen a lot of people put mods and stuff online where they've gone in and modded Cyberpunk to look like this, but this is out of the box. Playing this on a PC. This is actually, what it can look like. So first off, wow, insanely impressive. I had one guy hit me up on Twitter and he's like, well, that's just because it's linear, bruh. And I'm like, dude, I understand. We made God of War. One of the reasons we chose cinematic camera was so we could actually control where the eye was looking, so we didn't have to draw as much. We can make the game look better. I know how it works. But even with that, the level of, like GTA 6 is not going to look this good. But it's an open world. There's a lot more freedom, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to point that out. Also, the fact that I did come up, I've been playing games since 74. This is what I came up with, my friends. So you'll forgive me if I think that is impressive, because it is. In my fantasies as like an 8-year-old kid, I thought this, I made it photoreal. But this is where we started. And this is where we are today. So yeah, sorry if you're not impressed. I can't help you. But that was my first takeaway. I was in awe for a good 10 minutes seeing this. Just beautiful, fucking beautiful. And then we get to the actual game itself, which so far it's good. It's, I've played Grace twice and Leon twice in terms of how the game shuffles you back and forth. I won't spoil anything, but if you've been following the previews, I got almost, I pretty much, how the previews opened with the Grace section and then they brought the press back to play Leon with the action and then they explained what happened between the two of them. I played through that and about 10 minutes after that, and that's how far I've gotten. And it feels like one of the best produced, most well-polished AAA games out there, certainly in the horror space. What I said I still stand behind, which is I think like Resident Evil, certainly this one so far, feels like the Fast and the Furious franchise. If you look at Silent Hill F, which I adored, or Silent Hill 2 Remake, which I adored, those really are more of the A24 of horror video games, right? They're more interesting, narratively, character-wise, they're more disturbing. This is like going through like a haunted house at a theme park, and it does it brilliantly, and it does it incredibly well, and I'm enjoying it, and I think it's fun. It's not as kind of weird and disturbing as 7. It's not as so far anyway. It's early. It's not as varied conceptually and spatially as like Village, where you had almost like the 4 core monster movie type broken off into 4 sections, but it's very, very good. It's really enjoyable. If you love Resident Evil, I think you're gonna, my first impression, it's not a review. People get so upset when I use the word review. Most people don't, just some people do, and that's what I notice in the chat. It's annoying. That's a me problem. But yeah, it's my first impression is it's really solid, good Resident Evil. Nothing amazing. None of the mechanics have blown me away. None of the scenarios have blown me away. It's just really, really good and really, really satisfying. So if you don't want to spend $70, you're not going to be missing out on, from what I can tell, so far, groundbreaking game design or horror design or whatever. I have had much more disturbing, scary moments in very inexpensive indie games. But as a theme park ride, as a Fast and the Furious of horror games, so far, I'm really, really enjoying it. If I had to rate it right now, scale of 1 to 10, my first impression is 7.5, 8 out of 10. That's my take.